iPad Gate resolved. Anthony Robinson is a star. Tim Way fights for America. We're going to get to it all here on Stars, Stripes, and Stress. Now, before we get too excited, let's pump the brakes a little bit on this moral victory. We did lose today. Germany beats the United States 2-1 on a hot Midwest afternoon in Chicago. I'm going to try to keep things in perspective here as we work through the show. Hoy's in LA. He'll be popping in and out of this episode. But let's get to the game notes. Very first minute, Germany uses a similar strategy of just booting it to our end of the field to start the game that we've been using on all restarts as well. I just think it's interesting. There must be something in the analytics. It felt at the beginning like a little bit of a youth strategy, but it does seem to be something that's spreading to the other teams. And Germany is obviously a well-respected team, and so they're using this strategy. I would say it has a little bit to do with the fact that we have a coach that seems to be well in tune with the game, and that's nice to see. Second minute of the game, Germany scores their first goal. Tim Ream gets absolutely lost. Let's take a look at this. It's a free kick from about, 25 yards out, and I've watched this play over and over and over and over, and I don't understand why Tim Ream does what he does. So he's clearly matched up on the Germany attacker that scores the goal. And then for some reason, he leaves him immediately and switches on to 15, which doesn't make any sense. Now, I know, I guess was there communication with 12 that they were going to pass him off? It doesn't make any sense. I know Germany was very active before that kick, and they're popping inside, they're popping offsides, they're popping onsides. I just can't help but watch that replay and just think that is on Tim Ream, our captain. It's tough. He got absolutely lost on that goal. Tough. Sixth minute, Germany almost scores again right away. So, right off the bat, we are struggling to, find our form is how I would say it. So this would be a goal if this ball doesn't go out of bounds. Now, I don't know why our guys stop moving because that ball is barely out of bounds. In soccer, the ball just has to be a hair on the line. It can be 75, 95, 99% over the line. As long as it's 1% on the line, you're good. And this ball is close, and we just stopped moving, and that was dumb, and this easily could have been 2-0 right off the bat. All right, let's get to the big one. Anthony Robinson with the strike of his life. Let's just sit here and enjoy this one off the corner.
Outswinger from Pulisic. Tar heads it away.
Now, it's a decent cross by Pulisic. It was a decent clear by Germany, and it was a magnificent finish by Robinson. And look at the backflip after the play, too. And, just look at oh my gosh, the passion. He is so flipping pumped after that backflip. Like, his face is red and his veins are pumping, and that's such a good goal. You just are not going to, if that would have happened during the World Cup, oh my gosh. That would have been so cool. Oh, that's such a good goal. I could just watch that one over and over and over. All right, let's move on. And right away, I do feel like we took that momentum and we ran with it because the 39th minute, Christian Pulisic gets going again. There's a good play on by the referee. We have 3-on-3 attackers, after Pulisic goes down. This is a good look. We try to get the ball across. Balogun, just there's nobody there on the backside, but it's a good look. And these last 5-10 minutes of the first half, it's tough that we don't get a goal here because we have a lot of good opportunities. So 42nd minute, Dest gets loose. Gets a good look, just puts the shot just over the crossbar. Dest was very active today. I imagine everybody is happy with what they're seeing from Dest. Just missed this one a little over the crossbar. Fourth minute, Christian Pulisic gets a shot. Man, these like I was saying the last 10 minutes, these last 3 minutes specifically, Pulisic gets close over and over and over. So you're going to see he's working off the right side here on this one, and he gets the ball back on his right foot. It's just not the best angle. That's why he likes to come from the left side, is because when he gets the ball back on his right foot, he's got the whole goal to work with instead of just having that little sliver right there that, even if he gets the clean shot off and the defender doesn't get a deflection, I'm pretty sure the goalie's going to make a play on that. 47th minute, again, we're just going to keep saying his name over and over. Pulisic gets another look. He's going to steal the ball from 6 Germany here, and he's going to be off to the races. He flat out just misses Balogun on this play. He is open on the backside. If he would have got the ball to him early, he could have had all the Germany defenders on his back with the ball, and he could have had a one-on-one with the goalie. Instead, Pulisic settles for a shot that it looks to me like in real time he just decided that on the corner early in the play. Like that shot is not a dangerous shot. It's a shot that he's looking to get a corner. He's looking to get the whole team up into the attack with him. He's tired. He wants just a second to catch his breath. I don't blame him, but again, you watch this replay over and over, you would love to see him get the ball to Balogun early and give him a chance. 8th minute, Pulisic gets another shot. We're coming off another corner. The United States has lots of corners in this game. So, ball to Antony, pass to Christian. To my co-host's point, I think this has to be a one-time. This one touch doesn't do anything for us. I know Hoy loves saying that we got to do more one-touch shots, and I think this is a great example of this needs to be one touch here. That touch does nothing except for allow the entire Germany defense to collapse on him. And I think Christian knows it. He puts his hands on his head, and I think he knows it immediately. That's got to be a one-touch shot. 49th minute, Germany, they make a nice move. They get a shot on goal here. This is a nice run down the right side. He gets around us. He makes us look a little silly, gets the ball into the center. A little bit lackadaisical defense. And you're going to see that same type of defense actually on Germany's second goal, where they have the ball on the top of the 18, and we're just kind of sitting there waiting for them to make the first move. And I would like to be a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end when they have the ball in our box. Well, that was the end of the first half. So start of the second half, 57th minute, Germany gets their second goal to go up 2-1. Like I was saying, it was kind of the same type of defense at the end of the first half where they have the ball in an attacking area and you're seeing a lot of guys standing around there's no sense of urgency at all while this ball goes in the net. You're going to see, the goalie's sitting there cursing everybody out. And you're going to see 6 guys flat-footed behind the ball, nobody attempting to track back, and Germany just walks the ball through our 18-yard box. It doesn't make any sense. I've watched these replays a dozen times. There's just so many people flat-footed. It doesn't make any sense. All right, let's get to a little bit of the street action, I guess we'll call it, on the back half of this game. 69th minute, Germany starts the fight. Dirty tackle by number 22. The referee properly gives him a yellow card. The action doesn't stop there. We'll get back into some offense here before we get back into the fighting, because there's 2 more decent looks the United States gets here at the end of the game. 87th minute, we get a good look. It's a shot on goal. We just couldn't quite land that last punch that we needed. This easily could have been a 2-2 game, and we just could not find that last goal. We're going to get our 10th corner kick of the game in the 88th minute. Got a goal from one early, just could not find the equalizer. You're going to see here we get a couple chances. This is an attempt on goal, I guess, blocked by the defender. We're going to regain the ball. We're going to try to work it around. We're going to try to get another shot. Just couldn't quite figure out a way to do it. Rainier's got the ball here in the box, passing it around and just blowing it over the net there. Yeah, that's not going to do it. All right, back to the action. Number 14 from Germany. Oh, man, I want to say some bad words about this guy. Dirty, 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 dirty. Now, the first hit with the shoulder, that's just a good, hard foul. There's nothing dirty there. But then he goes after Weah. And it's completely unnecessary. And then Weah doesn't miss when he comes back the other way. Truck Stick Timmy had his head on the guy's chest, and he didn't miss. The funny part is about this whole play, again, I'm going to keep saying, I've watched this play over and over and over again. Somehow, the only card on this play is given to Germany number 14, who actually isn't the one who gives the hardest foul during this sequence. I guess you could say when he goes after Weah behind the play, that was the hardest foul, but the ref doesn't even blow the whistle on that contact. The only whistles that are blown are the contact on 14 when he hits his shoulder, and then on the contact with Weah when he blows the guy up in his chest. It's hilarious that watching this whole sequence over and over, the only card is given to Germany 14. I don't know if that's good refereeing or what. But the funny part is, we're going to skip ahead to the 92nd minute. Truck Stick Timmy back for some more. knowing that he doesn't have a yellow card, he finishes this tackle very nicely. And Germany's like, what the heck's going on? And he's like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. 15 gets in his face. We're all here for it. Let's go. We're in the 90th minute. We're ready. And I watched this, and I kind of said to Hoy, this just looks like everybody's ready for the World Cup to start. We're ready for the real games to start. Fouls like that, action like this. This is just a bunch of guys that are ready for the biggest tournament of their lives. All right, let's bring Hoy in to talk about just overall thoughts. One specific point I wanted to get at was I feel like this U.S. team, maybe more than teams in the past, and maybe I'm getting caught up in the moment. This might happen every 4 years where these guys just become very famous, after we start watching them during these World Cup games. But gosh darn it, I feel like we got a couple stars on this team. Like, I'm not saying, Pulisic is the Landon Donovan, like that's already decided. But like, we have more than that. It's not just him. I'll go first. I asked you to put a couple names down. I'm going to throw just my number one. The jersey's on the way. And I know the first name now is Serginho Dest. I mean, he is everywhere. He's fun. He scores goals. He's aggressive. He's like the perfect amount of dirty. He's everything you want in a little guy. Just awesome. Love him. Would he be on your list, that short list that I asked you to put together?
He's definitely on my list, especially in the last 2 games we've watched. He's thoroughly surprised me. He's able to get down the wing, but even while he's doing that, you still see him in the center of the field all the time, crossing the box, getting ready for a shot. And I think the term right now is like the midfield and offense right now for the USA is very fluid, and you see that. And I think it's because of players like Dest, who's able to just go from the wing to the inside and just get all over the field.
So fun. All right, I will give you the next one. Give me a star. Who do you got?
I think it's Anthony. Is that the right way to say it? But Anthony Robinson is on my list. I'm sure we'll get into him more about today's game, but he's just able to, because he's our left back, but he's able to push up, and he's almost at the 18 every time our team pushes up, and he's ready to rip it. I love it.
They're kind of all over the place with those midfielders and those defensive, offensive wingers. Because Dest is one of those too. It's, Dest and Robinson are kind of playing those opposites of each other where they're both getting way up. And I would guess one of them is going to lead us in goals. I mean, we'll get right to it right now. That Anthony Robinson goal, holy bejesus. What do you got for me on that one?
I love that rebound. It was a poor clearance from Germany, but that rebound was phenomenal. The one-touch rip out of the air.
I knew you were going to say it.
Phenomenal. And I've said this in the last episode. You really need these one touches because every time you try to get that extra touch in, even if you watch the replay, you see those defenders close that gap, and he wouldn't have had it if he taken another touch. And so
he wasn't even thinking about another touch. There was no thought about another touch.
He's shooting for the moon on that one. And it sucks this was a friendly, but it still got me up out of my seat. That was the first goal in a long time. I was actually up out of my seat like, oh my God, that was ridiculous.
You could sit during that. I barely sit during these games. Like, I sat a little more during this one, but yeah, during the real games, no, I don't sit. You can't sit. This is a different sport. All right, is it my turn on a star? Do you want to go again? I can go if you. Well, so we'll just I'll do the obvious one. So Christian Pulisic is our star still. Like we have to mention him. You can't go through one of these lists and pretend like he's not number one on this list. The first game we ran everything through him. This game we did show the ability to not make him the only part of the offense. Like, it felt like the first half of the first game, we got him the ball 12 of the 15 actual attacks that we had. This time we spread it around a little bit more. It wasn't just him, but he's still our guy. Like, we ride with him, and I'm imagining he might not lead us in goals, but he'll lead us into assists. Either way, he is on the list of stars. And I do have one more I'm going to steal just going on. And I was asking you how to pronounce his name before we started, and I need to get it because I can't pretend like you're a star and I can't get your name wrong. So that's a joke that I mean, but he should be on the list. And it's Balogun. Balogun?
I think that's how they're saying it. So I think you nailed it.
Balogun.
Balogun.
Yes. I want that to be right. He looks good. He looks really good. He plays big. He's fast. He's solid. And the fact that he's 24, he's playing in the top league over in Italy. man, he looks like he could be a couple World Cup type player. What do you think about him?
I would say in these two friendlies, what I'm hoping is that once the World Cup actually starts, we're able to get him the ball a little bit more. I think he hasn't really had his moment to shine quite yet. I do like the potential there. He does seem to have a lot of defenders gravitate towards him, which is a good sign because we like him in the middle, drawing that attention so that we can get the ball out to the wings. But yeah, size is there. He's got the presence, and I'm expecting a few goals from him once we get the actual game started.
I think I'm seeing the potential. I think you hit it there. I think it's more I see a lot of potential there. Do you want to give me one more name, or you want to get into the game itself?
I still got two.
Oh my gosh, let's go. I don't want to stop you. Hell yeah. We got stars, baby.
I really like McKennie. He is just solid, and he controls that midfield. He wins a lot of 50-50s, and he just puts a lot of pressure on the ball. And one thing you really need from those midfielders is when the offense is pushing up, and especially when we're doing those transitions, is someone who can follow up with that and really close that gap between the offense and the forwards and the midfield. And I think he does a really good job just kind of finding his pocket and distributing there. All right, my last one is going to be off the bench, surprisingly. But if I were to create a soccer fantasy team, he would definitely be on it because I just love the name first and foremost. But Weah.
Oh, yeah.
Where are my Weah fans at?
He was on the last team. All right. Let's get into the game. I went through my game notes already, so how about you just start with some overall thoughts, and I'll play off you here.
I thought, especially in the first half, USA came out really strong, put a lot of pressure on, ripped a lot of shots, which is exactly what we need to see. Previous World Cups, that's something we talked about already. It was a little lacking, a little hesitant on some shots, taking extra touches, missing opportunities, but they were just ripping them. And I love that, especially in the first half. I think we had 7 shots, only 1 on goal. I think that's the one we put in. But, man, the 7 shots is a good sign, especially when we kept Germany to only 2.
And Germany scored that goal right off the bat. And I know you texted me right after that, and it's making some jokes. And so, and then not only that, they had the opportunity at like 2 minutes after that where, the ball goes out of bounds. And man, you watch the defense just stop moving when that ball goes out of bounds, and it was like, that's close.
Yeah, and to that point, I think one of the biggest things we do need to work on is, especially on defense, is communication. I think Germany at some point in this game really figured out where our weak spot was and where the defense wasn't covering, and we need to lock that down come game time and actually communicate, cover. We left a lot of open shots from the top of the 18. Germany would go down the wing and just get a little kick out to the top, and they'd get a couple good looks. And that second half is when it got a little scary, when you saw Germany's creativity kind of show. We went head-to-head with them, but, man, it looked a little scary on some of us.
We lost. I mean, it just flat out, let's go that route. This team might be too good for moral victories. Like, I know we subbed everybody out, but, we're still a 1 through 25, 26, whatever the roster is. It might be a little less than that. We lost. And we're really, you're going to hear a lot tomorrow and these next couple days about how good we played. And everybody's going to be very excited. And we did play good, but we lost. Like, that, you start to take moral victories. That's a tough, the great teams scoff at that, But coach, he is in full control, and he is the best manager we've had in as long as I've been watching this, and it's only taken me 2 games to see it. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Coach right now. And did you see the timeout?
I missed the timeout on this one.
No iPad, laptop.
Ooh.
No problems. No problems. It was a great adjustment to see. Just the little things with him.
I'm still used to whiteboard, so I want to see some X's and O's on the board.
Okay, so real quick, we missed analyzing the first goal. I went over a little bit in the game notes, but Tim Ream, and to your point on the communication, just either left his guy because he's so wide open on that play. Like, and I watched him over and over and over.
It looked like a little pick and roll action was going on with Germany. They had the other player run right in front of the guy who scored, and I don't know. It looked like there should have been a little switch, communication. That's what we're going to keep saying this episode, communication. It looked like they should have talked it out, and had them, know who's marking which one on that little crossover exchange, but just fell asleep at the opening whistle.
I guess a good learning experience, if we're joking about moral victories and learning experiences, but because Germany, that's where they're really good. They're solid in those set pieces where you see, they're messing with you where they're offsides, they're popping offsides, they're popping back on sides, and their timing is fantastic where they're always back on sides. And I know everybody's sitting there at home like, he's offsides, he's offsides, he's offsides. It's like, well, no, he's popping back on once they show the replay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're pretty darn good at being on sides right when that ball's kicked. And then we're lost, and like you said, they run a little half pick and roll there, and he gets real open, and yeah, that was a bad one. Just don't know how to end this because I really don't know how to feel because like I said, I'm a little bit upset that we lost, and I know that we weren't like pushing at the end, and it wasn't like we were going all out. It was still a friendly,
but a little unfriendly at the end.
And so let's get into that. I'm glad you said that because I wanted to bring that up. I'm happy to see that this U.S. team is resembling our country a little bit better. Like, we're not going to be the most skilled. We need to play a little, I don't want to say the word dirty, but whatever you want to call it, we got to be right on that line. Like, we're not going to play like Germany. Germany's scoring these clean-looking goals. Like, we need to, like, just put our head down and be bowls. A lot of bowls out there. And we kind of are a little bit. Like it didn't look too bad today as far as that was concerned. I think that's why a lot of people are going to be very happy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely love seeing. Definitely seems like they have a fire in them right now, and they're using it to their fullest. I don't really know quite what triggered that whole scuffle because I don't know. It looked like the German player just went on a rampage to start this whole interaction with Weah. He kind of just like took him out or took one of the U.S. players out, and then there was just an exchange back and forth of tackling each other.
Yeah, it was just 3 in a row. Yeah, it was fine. And I didn't go back to, like, there was probably a foul we missed that Germany felt like we got that because it was just one of those, like, you got us, we're going to get you, we're going to get you back, we're going to get you back, we're going to get you back. And then, yeah, it went on like 5 or 6 until our boy Timothy got, like, he really got after him a little bit as far as, like, and it's nice to see. Like, that's what we want to see. Like, you might as well. Like, what, like this is a friendly, it's Germany. Like, let's get after them.
And I'm going to say that last slide tackle, I don't even think that was dirty at all. Like, in real time, it looked kind of bad, but
was it that he gave a little hand afterwards, right, where he caught him a little bit? Like, he was long gone. It wasn't anything with his feet. Like, I think if you saw as he went through, I think that's what the Germany guys gave me. And it wasn't much, but it knocked, you saw it. Like, that's what it was.
But they had like 4 guys walk up to him. Like, I was like, really?
I know, it wasn't much.
If anything, I think it's just, he gets up and you guys shove each other. But then, like, the whole team got involved. I was like, really? Over that? That was a weak. I just thought it was a good slide tackle. I mean, he went in there, he barely touches him. But
you can probably chalk it up to, like, they're ready to play for real. Like, everybody's ready to play for real. Like, we're done with these friendlies. Like, let's do this for real.
We're a week away.
Both these teams feel ready. I mean, that's exactly right. Like, and there's a chance these are 2 of the top 8 teams in the world. And, like, you say something like that, and it's crazy. But the U.S., for sure, during these first 2 games has, if they were going to re-rank these teams, we would probably be, like, 10. Like, we started at 18. We'd probably be at, like, 10 right now. Like, we look good. We look we look connected. We look like we have a plan. We're well coached. We're healthy. There's not a lot of question marks. It's nice. Final thoughts from you, because I'm like these players ready for this dang thing to start for real.
I noticed one thing during this Germany game, and you could tell that Germany had a clear game plan to kind of take Pulisic out of the game. Kind of, they had 2 guys almost lingering right around his vicinity almost the entire game, and that's probably why, when you mentioned earlier, it looked like he wasn't getting the touches early on in the game. I think that was rightfully so, their strategy. And I think when we do that, the coach just needs to make sure we still keep him active and we find ways to keep the team fluid, as the people are saying, and move the offense and keep using these transitions and, just try to get as many opportunities as we can. And the end of the game, I believe we had 12 shots, 4 on target. So, I mean, that's a good number to hit every game. If we can get 10-plus shots, I think that's creating plenty of opportunities for us to win these games.
Paraguay, here we come. We're ready.
We're ready.
The Bulls are ready. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening this week. We're going to be back next Saturday after the game, after Paraguay, 8 p.m. Fox, I believe. Fox is taking all these real games, I think, so help everybody out a little bit. Yeah, it'll be easier. I know we've been chasing these broadcasts all around. I watched the second half of Spanish, but all right, good night, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Adios. Whew.